Hey guys, what's going on? Festive, right? This is like something that you get in Sopranos. Festive. It's this side. Festive. What's going on? Is this? Yeah, this is too much of a distraction. Yeah, I was distracted myself. It was too much. So, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Vic Barry. Welcome to the channel. This is another Gear of the Year stuff when it comes to camera gear and filmmaking and video making predominantly. I've thrown in towards the end here a couple of other things that I've picked up that I've enjoyed, that I really like, that you guys might think, and yeah, they're nothing to do with camera gear, but I'm gonna put them in there anyway. But let's get things going first of all, right? So, GoPro 10. Without a doubt, GoPro 10. Besides the 5K and all that, they got 4K 120 into the GoPro Hero 10 Black. Yes, out of the box it had lots of problems. Yes, out of the box it overheated quite a lot. Now GoPro have basically released this Enduro battery, which they should have had with this day one, and that gives better battery life and things don't melt as fast as they did before. So GoPro Hero 10 Black, definitely up the top of my list. And the thing is, this is a very, very durable camera. Yes, it's dated. I know it is dated. And I would hope the GoPro Hero 11 Black next year will kind of, you know, not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but they'll offer some little bit of innovation, because even in the hand it just feels dated. But GoPro Hero 10 Black, really good if you can pick it up in a holiday sale. Absolutely. Am I recording? I am. So that's one of my favorite pieces of gear of the year. I'm gonna put this over here. Yes, it's in that infamous case. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know exactly what I'm on about. DJI Action 2, it's not without its faults. Video quality is not as good as the GoPro Hero 10 Black, the more I've used it, but it is tiny. It is not as durable even with this case. Tilta, I'm still waiting on that cage. I would love to test it out. Tilta, by the way, have built this amazing cage. Small Rig, just one clarification. Yeah, Small Rig did send this for free, so yeah, but I bought the camera itself. If you are into action sports, probably not the best thing. If you're wanting to start out in the world of vlogging or documenting stuff or cooking or makeup, this will probably be a good entry-level camera for most folks, even though you could probably put your money to better use elsewhere. This didn't really do as well as I thought it would on the channel. There's lots of videos there, but it was just one of these things. Will I use it? It's handy to have. I mean, this isn't going to weigh down your bag, and the magnetic side of it, you know, where it goes to your... Anyway, yeah. Kind of what... Do you know why this is one of my favorite pieces of gear, actually, for the year? Is because of the ingenuity. Yes, it's cumbersome, but yes, this whole idea here that you have one tiny module and you have one screen, or you have the module here which gives you extra juice, that was really ingenious, I think, on DJI's behalf. And yeah, it does 4K 120 and it is respectable. Video quality out of this is good. Now on to some things that are a little bit more expensive, and we're getting to my favorite piece of gear of the year as well. This is a Sigma 600mm lens on an APS-C camera like the Sony A6600. This thing is the equivalent to like an 840 or something like that. It is a ginormous lens. Zoom lens. Don't use it a lot, but for photography or for video, for surf photography, anything like that, this thing has been amazing. Yes, it is heavy. Yes, it's a pain in the butt to drag in a bag, hence it doesn't come out that often. So this is one of these lenses that you really do have to think about what you're actually shooting before you start throwing this into the bag, because this isn't really going to fit into a small bag without a lot of planning. Optical stabilization in the lens itself, custom buttons, and it's amazing. However, this is the Canon version. This is a Canon adapter for E-mount for Sony cameras, which I kind of shoot all the time with. There is now a Sony equivalent of this. There is a dedicated E-mount version, which might be a little bit faster, but I've had zero problems with this. I love this lens. This just was one of the lenses that, you know what? It made me happy. It just made me happy to be able to go out and shoot stuff and just have, I don't know, feel like I was doing something that was just for me. Got some bangers of shots. Wildlife, just was one of those things, and I guess you can always play with it. So that, now speaking of lenses, this is the Meike 35mm. It's a 2.1 cine lens. This is an actual cinema lens. This thing weighs a ton. Really amazing lens. Completely manual lens. I bought this, while this will work on any Sony E-mount camera, I bought this specifically for the FX3, which is what I'm shooting this on right now. And the fake Christmas ad, I shot that video with this lens, and I've shot one or two other things around with this. It's one of these other lenses as well where you'll have a very specific need for it. And I idolize the lens, just the build quality of this thing, the image quality, it's just in a totally different league of just cinema lens, you know. This one I think was about $1,000. Pretty expensive, but as the old saying goes, you pay for what you get. Now we're going into the more kind of expensive stuff, so that's another lens. I get it, that's probably not going to be for everybody, but this just to have a cinema lens was a dream, and I was lucky enough to be able to buy this during the year. So yeah, anyway, so there you go. Another one of my favorite pieces of gear of the year. This is a lens, this is a Sigma lens, a 16mm lens. Some of this stuff has been out for a while, so this isn't all brand new, but this camera this is the Sony ZV-E10, and this is going to be up the very, very top for my gear of the year. Simply put, this was the Sony a6600 in a smaller body. It's got more of a grip. Okay, I've got a cage on it here from Smallrig, who did send the cage for it, by the way, just so we're clear. And this did fall, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if you guys can make this out, but I did a pretty good job of kind of cracking this here completely. So the Pete's Pirate Life sticker that's on it is not necessarily to go, hey, I love Peter McKinnon, but it's actually covering up a lot of damage here. So if you've ever been wondering, because this has turned up in a few videos, this is why that is actually there. Well, this is an amazing camera. This is just an amazing camera. The video quality of this thing is insane. I've shot this on a ton of videos that alongside the Sony FX3. Nobody's ever said, there's a huge difference in that camera quality there, boy. You're going from a cinema. And the fact that, you know, you can swap out the lenses, amazing. Good price point as well. There literally, when this came out, there was no real reason to buy the Sony a6600 anymore. So you've got your mic jack, your headphone socket, it's USB-C, it's got okay battery life. It doesn't have the Z battery, it's got those other little batteries that were in the 6400. They're okay, buy a couple of them, they're cheap and cheerful. It's similar to the Sony ZV-1 that it's got, you know, a mode button, like you press to go picture, video, or indeed you can just go to S&Q. That's fine. Some people prefer the dial where you can just click to whatever mode that you're in. But I like this. Could it have an extra couple of customization buttons? Maybe. Not everybody uses that though. But the FN button, full video on the channel, but the Sony ZV-E10 I have to use the FN button, which is a lifesaver. But this is an amazing camera. The 4K picture quality is insane. The other thing that I love out of this is the 1080p 120 is super clean. There is one thing that kills this, unfortunately, and that's the stabilization or lack of it. The stabilization that's in this camera is not good. The sensor basically turns to jello anytime there's movement. The option that I found that works best is just have no stabilization and stabilize it in post using Sony's free Catalyst Browse software. I found that was probably the best way to do it. Now, you can't do things in bulk with it. You have to do it video by video. It's not the most optimized render either, so it can take a little bit of time. That said, if you purchase the full production version of Catalyst Browse, you can actually do all of these in batches. But yeah, outside of that, this is a great camera. This is a great camera for photo, great camera for video. It's kind of just the ultimate hybrid. And the thing is, it's got that insane autofocus. Not only has it got the human eye autofocus, it's also now got the animal eye autofocus as well, which is just, if you've got pets or you're shooting any animals, then yeah, this is amazing. This is just, I love this camera so much. And I'll be honest, I've taken this camera out more than the Sony ZV-1, which was my favorite camera last year, simply because just the lens flexibility. This is the Sigma 16mm, really wide lens. It's got that 1.4 aperture, which means you can get super blurry backgrounds. So yeah, love it. Mwah! Okay, somebody's going to kiss the camera. I didn't actually, our lips didn't connect. Yeah, anyway. The other favorite piece of camera gear that I have this year, that I bought this year, iPhone 13 Pro. This, you know, the old cliche that, you know, the best camera is the one that you have on you. Your phone is always going to be on you. You're never going to have this out all the time, or any other camera for that matter. This camera is amazing. Video quality is phenomenal. The cinematic focus pulling rack stuff, it's cliche, it's gimmicky, but it kind of works. That aside, video quality of this is phenomenal. Low light is mind-bogglingly good. This is one of my all-time favorite cameras in any phone ever. It's insane. Just right across the board, this thing, the iPhone 13 Pro, is crazy good. It's going to take an iPhone 14 Pro to be, I don't know, like 10x better than this for me to go, okay, I need this. This is amazing from video. I've dropped some footage from this into multiple videos. No one's ever really noticed the difference. Go back and check some of the last videos in the last kind of 2-3 months. See, can you spot the absolute iPhone footage that's just gone in there? And there is one more camera that is at the top of my list, and that is the Sony FX3. This camera cost me well in excess of $6,000 to put a nice Sony 20mm G lens on there, 1.8. I spent a fortune on rigging out the actual cage. I bought all the gear from Small Rig, including a follow focus, the matte box. This thing was single-handedly the biggest investment I have put into my YouTube channel since it started all those years ago. This just gives me so much flexibility. Right now I've got an XLR mic in there, my Rode shotgun mic. It's got 4K 120, which I'm just a big fan of that whole 120 movement. I enjoy it, and the fact that it's in 4K makes a world of difference for some of the stuff that I want to do. It's got good stabilization, you know, and it's got cinema line wrote in the body, which makes you feel a little bit more pro than you would be. I gotta say, I absolutely idolize the FX3 as it precariously sits on something else that's another piece of gear that is probably one of the best investments I've ever made in the YouTube channel, but I'll come to that at the very end, and I guarantee you a lot of you will have never heard of this thing. So from camera gear perspective, it's a real tough one. I'm not going to use this in this studio setup, not really. I will use this, and the Sony FX3 is my main shooter for all of the stuff that I shoot here. And as you can see, its place is trashed. It was even more trashed. For me though, I gotta say, my favorite piece of gear, iPhone 13 Pro. Just because of the quality it offers, the portability, it's far more portable than anything else. Don't get me wrong, I worship my Sony FX3. Every time I look at my bank balance and I see that big transaction in cons cameras, I'm crying. This is just an animal of a piece of gear. It's a beast. It's an absolute beast. Some of the other bits and pieces, and then I'm going to get to this last thing. All right, this last thing right now. That's probably a crazy good investment. It's one of the cheaper investments that I've made. It's super useful. So if you're starting out or you have a YouTube channel and you're looking to make things a little bit better, this piece of gear can absolutely change the game completely. But I'll get to that. One thing I did pick up, Little King Goods, this amazing wallet, which hand-stitched, most expensive wallet I've ever bought. I've got it kind of pretty scuffed up now at this stage, I guess. But great wallet. Discovered this as well, by the way. Musk & Hustle. Those of you who like your colognes and smell good, then Musk & Hustle, I absolutely love their stuff. This is something I picked up. I'm always carrying bits around, and I gotta be honest, looking at a Peter McKinnon video, I spotted this many moons ago. This is the Orbit Key Nest. It's just a little box. Got a knife in there, a little flashlight, hand sanitizer, and also it charges up here. So always have this on the desk. It's always there. It's always easy just to drop into the bag and bring whatever crap that I have with me. Now, onto this final piece. This is a newer boom arm mount. It basically bolts onto the wall and you can move it up and down and extend it. And I put a ball head on it, and that's it right now what the actual Sony FX3 is sitting on. And I've got the FX3, the cage and the mic and the handle, all that stuff is on it. So it's pretty heavy and it's holding it okay. Lighter cameras work a lot better, but there was one big reason I got this, and that was to save me some space. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a good tripod. When you have tripods in a really small space, this room is 10 feet by 8 feet. You're like, I got to do a thumbnail to put the tripod down. It's like, ugh. So what I decided to do was put this boom arm up, and I pointed to the ceiling, and when I want to, you know, bring it down. The other thing that really changed the game for me this year is you guys. Genuinely, I really, 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 really appreciate everybody that drops by the channel, that comes by, that interacts with the community. Don't be wrong, there's been a couple of times this year where I've struggled hugely. I've had 1 or 2 breaks, just been tired and just run out and burnt out and run down, and I get there eventually. Just one of those things where I'm incredibly appreciative of everybody's time to, you know, this video is 21 minutes long or so. Well, it is now, I'll edit it down to like 3. Regardless if there's another video over the holidays or not, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for their support, and let's all get together and just do a live stream, shoot the breeze, hang out, maybe do some live editing of your photos for fun or whatever over the holidays. So keep an eye on the channel for that, but thank you so much for all of your support, all of your comments, all of your thumbs up, and all of your dislikes, even though you can't see them anymore. I appreciate them, and I appreciate you. And I really do hope you have a wonderful, safe, prosperous, happy, filling holiday.